everyone. My name is Sebastian Blanco. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer, Director of Technology for the Coral Gables Market Center located in Miami. And today we are going to have one of our talented real estate agent, Vander. Vander is a talented Israeli-American real estate agent. She is part of the Netflix reality TV show Selling Sunset. She has been in the show for 4 seasons already with a lot of success. And now Maya is one of our agents here at the office. So she accepted this invitation. Thank you so much, Maya. Do you want to share a little bit about you and we can start the conversation?
Definitely not an American. I'm Israeli and Dutch. So I didn't grow up. Yeah, I didn't grow up in the United States. I lived here for almost 20 years, but clearly my accent is definitely nothing but American. Yeah, and I joined Keller Williams, I think over a year ago at this point. I was with Douglas Elliman in Florida, and I left Douglas Elliman. I'm licensed with Keller in in Florida, and then licensed with Jason Oppenheim in California.
That's awesome. So let's begin with how do you start in real estate and transition to TV and media?
So I was licensed with Jason way before the show. Basically, thank you so much. I see the comments. Okay, so I was licensed. I was doing real estate for probably 2 years. By the way, I was with Keller Williams also in LA. And then I decided to leave to Jason's, and because I used to go door knock and I used to see like beautiful marketing material that Jason used to mail. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to compete with this guy? So I joined the office. We had a couple of girls already. Well, I was the first girl. Then, Mary joined and Christine and the rest of the girls that you see on the show. Jason does a lot of marketing for the company. So one of them was a billboard in Sunset Plaza. And Sunset Plaza, if you've never been to LA, it's a very busy street. Everybody drives through Sunset at some point. The producer drove by, saw the billboard with beautiful girls and Jason and Brett, and he pitched the idea of doing the TV show. Jason was not sure about it in the beginning because it could be risky for the business, especially when you already run a successful brokerage. A few months later, they keep pursuing, and that's how we ended up shooting a demo, then shooting a pilot, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. And I'm just curious, how has your brand recognition from the Netflix show affected your professional network and your reputation?
So, people assume that because we are on a TV show, we get so many calls, and yes, obviously I get leads from the show, it helps. I think it's more getting credibility because I never count only on the show to provide me with business and clients. I do a lot of online advertisement. I think that once people realize I am the girl from the show, it just gives me the credibility and they potentially will stay more loyal to me. Not always, by the way. I got some buyers that weren't loyal to me, even knowing I'm on the show. So it's not always like that. So the point of the story is like, yes, it helps being on a TV show, but you really have to hustle for your business and for your clients.
So do you find customers stereotype you because of the show, or they embrace you for your talent?
I think, I would say because who I am, actually, not because of the show. Yes, people like to maybe say, oh, I'm from Selling Sunset, but realistically, I had good clients before that come back to give me more business, not because I was on a TV show. It was way before even filming the show was out, because I did good business with them and I was honest with them and I was very available for them, basically. So they came back and refer me friends. And that's how I start little by little to grow my network. It just takes time, but that's basically the bottom line.
So it's pretty much being consistent. We have been hearing a lot of the word consistency.
And it's hard because, in real estate, we don't get paid by the hour. I wish that we would charge by the hour because I feel like clients would maybe respect our time better versus running around, driving them around, and they want to rent all of a sudden, they don't want to buy, they want to wait, and then you just wasted like time for nothing. So it is annoying. I wish now would come up with like, listen, we bill you every week at least, and $20 for the by the hour, not a lot, but enough for people to respect our time. We don't get paid salary, we get paid commission. So it is hard to be consistent when like, oh, I need that money, what am I going to do? And I've been going through some times in my career that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't close the deal for 3 months. Now what? Like I'm running short. Like it's always like that stressful feeling until it became a little bit more consistent and more, thankfully, pretty steady for me. But it took time. And I can tell you that my first big deal in LA, I took that money from the commission and I invest definitely in marketing because that's how I try to grow my business, online marketing.
So pretty much you transition into having that marketing being the drive of the business and attract those leads.
You got to do some marketing. I mean, you look, as a new agent, we all know we don't have money. Like, we don't know what to do. I mean, I got my license. I was working like 3 jobs in LA. LA is expensive. I'm like, okay, I cannot just like quit and just do real estate full time. So I was hustling. I was working like part-time jobs just to pay my bills. And then I used to do open houses every Sunday. Probably I said like 400 open houses. I used to go door knock because it's free. So it doesn't cost me to go door knock. I used to do a lot of networking. I used to do, back then Facebook was big, I guess. So social media, hey, I'm in real estate, but here I am, with my niece, and kind of try to connect with people on a personal level. So I try to do all these things that I could do for free before I invest money, before I had my, couple of deals that I start closing, and I could take that money towards, like, in my case, I advertised back then was Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com. I do the online leads, and for me it works, at least in Miami.
That's awesome. And what is the difference between the LA and Miami clientele when it comes to your database?
So LA, every third one in LA is 1.5, probably 2 million since I left. So people are really thinking hard, okay, where am I going to spend 2 million? They think they want to be in the west side of LA, but they can only afford the valley, which is much cheaper. So you do drive around a lot with them because they're like, where am I going to be in the next 7, 10, 15 years? Miami, obviously I do residential here too, but I do sell a lot of those condos, and condos, a lot of them, they're part-time. It's like they're already like second and third homes. So it's less emotionally invested, I would think. I would feel, at least. Give me a nice building, nice pool, nice gym, decent HOA fees, and I'm good. So I feel like it's almost less difficult in Miami than LA. It's still hard, by the way. I think the hardest part in real estate is just to get the clients. So, and you gotta know what you're talking about. You gotta know the inventory. I moved to Miami, I knew nothing. I remember we looked to rent a place here, and I looked on Zillow, and all the buildings looked the same to me. I'm like, okay, what do I know even the difference? So I just made a point to myself to go to Brokers Open, to go to every building and kind of like learn the amenities, the pros and cons, just so I will sound at least knowledgeable, like I lived here for years. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. And when it comes to working with clients, do you specialize only in luxury, or do you have to open to all residential when you move to Miami?
No, people assume I just sell like 5, 6, 10 million and up. I wish, ideally, yes, I would love to just focus on that. But for me, business is business, and you just never know. I do have 2 girls who work with me on the team, so I can delegate some of the lower price point leads. But I can tell you, a client that I know, I did a lease with him yesterday, and he's a $5,000 lease. I'm not going to get rich out of it, but it's still $2,000. And I always say $2,000 pays for the car insurance, it pays for groceries, it pays for your whatever phone bill. So money is money for me. And hopefully that guy will end up to be a buyer at some point and will want to buy through me. So I do leases, and then I send an email to a client from California that wants to move, and he wants to buy up to 50 million. So, and by the way, believe it or not, it's actually not as easy as it sounds because there is no inventory. So I probably have to drive around and find that property that he didn't see on the MLS. But the bottom line is it's between a lower price point condos, leases, to potentially more higher end clients. But I always think that, if the clients are qualified and they're ready to buy, it's okay to do those lower price point deals because you just never know. They might buy today a $400,000 condo, but tomorrow they will sell that condo and will buy something bigger. And that's how you build your database. So, and that's what I've been seeing actually. It's my 5th year in Miami. People think I live in LA full time, but no, I lived here actually for 5 years, but we filmed the show, so I was a lot back and forth. But this is my 5th year in Miami. And I just see now the turnover from when I start selling here those lower price point condos like 4 years ago, that they're coming back now, they want to buy something bigger. And again, it's just really being consistent.
Consistency. We keep hearing
Yeah.
consistency, and consistency is the key. When it comes to value proposition, what do you present on your listing appointments or having a buyer's consultation? Can you give us an idea what that looks like?
So, I take a lot of the marketing ideas from actually Jason because I love his marketing. I think it's brilliant. It's very high-end looking. It's very luxury, and I like that. So I have my own technically branding logo and all that. But in my case, because I'm on a TV show, I have this large audience and reach and network and database from California that I could technically sell myself to the potential seller, just the exposure that I can get him more exposure and potentially PR in different outlets, magazines, outlets, and so on. So in that case, yeah, I take advantage of the TV show for sure, because if I wasn't on a TV show, I cannot tell him, oh, I have, 3,000 followers on Instagram. Nobody cares, but it helps. But yeah, so it's a little bit different when you're on a international TV show.
Absolutely. And you also have started to create more videos and media content.
Yeah.
Vander, that's your Instagram account. Are you time blocking to make these videos, or is it spontaneous? And I'm gonna do a follow-up question with that. What do you record? What do you record videos for?
So I do try to time block for videos. People Google us, they look online, and obviously the first thing, if you go to Google, they see your Facebook page, your LinkedIn, probably, and your IG, maybe TikTok. So it's important for me to, if people Google me, they will see the way I am. And if I have real estate videos and content, I think it's very important. Because in the show, unfortunately, Selling Sunset, it's not, in case you didn't notice, it's not really about real estate. It's about everything but real estate. So I don't want to have my credibility get lost somehow there because I'm just sitting in the office and making some stupid comments about Christine or Michelle. I am a real estate agent. That's what I do full time. I'm not an actress. So those content are very important for me to create. Plus, I was launching my own real estate course about, hey, what to do as a new agent. What do we do? So it's very important for me to show people that I know what I'm talking about, because sometimes on TV, I don't get that opportunity. So I think videos and time blocking, especially in this age that people are looking online, unfortunately, we have to kind of be present. We have to do that stuff. It's important to do it potentially for an email blast even. And that's my next thing. I didn't do videos with email blast yet. I know it's not a new thing. It's been around for a while, but that's my goal too.
That's
So
awesome.
just I do educational videos for agents, and I do sometimes for buyers and sellers. So some cute videos, quick. I shoot a couple of them during the day, and then I just can have the next 4 weeks content to kind of upload maybe once a week on either a TikTok or Reel or I don't do Facebook. I should probably, but yeah. I mean, I have Facebook. I'm not active on it.
So you would say Instagram, using the Reels, that's one of your main focus right now to use that platform.
Yeah, because again, people will Google, they will look, they will want to see. So I can't. When I started real estate, I used to post pictures of me going out with my girlfriends all the time, and I'm me holding a glass of wine. That was my thing. But I was also 27 years old, right? I was looking for different things on social media. Now I'm like, I want clients. I don't want to look like I'm an idiot. So I try to do more like conservative things. I mean, I'm not saying don't look like you're having fun, but
Right.
unlike actually some of my colleagues on Selling Sunset, who
Well,
their IGs are completely different, but they also have different goals. My goal is to just grow my business in real estate. That's basically my goal.
So you're being more mindful now in the content, right? Like you're taking this as a serious business and now advance to that level where you are definitely being mindful and
Because
sharing with people.
and I seen it in LA, girls get lucky, they look pretty and they sell a house to some guy, and good for them. But the thing is, if I'm going to try to sell this guy from California a very high-end property and look like I know what I'm talking about, I can't look like I'm just partying all day long. Granted, yeah, you can get good connections, but I want to get the respect. So for me, those videos are very important. So technically, yes, I time block. As I mentioned to you before, when we film Selling Sunset, sometimes my hair and makeup was already done. So I'm like, oh, let me just do a quick video. Let me think what I want to talk about. And then if I had a topic out of my head, I'm like, I was just recording it, like I had 2 minutes of video and I could just like, okay, I have like my next week content or whatever. But generally I do find like it's important to dedicate a couple of hours for content for social media.
Awesome. I have a question here on the chat. What is the next step in differentiating as a real estate agent in Miami? How to be appealing to the California buyers?
So wait, so can you repeat? Sorry, I missed that.
So what is the next step in I cannot say this word, sorry, I'm not American either. What is the next step in differentiating as a real estate agent in Miami, and how to be appealing to the California buyers?
So, my California buyers, well, the ones that are on my database, I do send email blasts and all that. Now, I got to know the market because people from California, they know Miami Beach. They don't know Coral Gables. They don't know Coconut Grove. They know Miami Beach and Star Island and maybe Fisher Island. So I think it's good to educate them about different pockets in different areas, just so they know that you know what you're talking about, and just explain the market. You gotta. I mean, look, someone who was coming from California from very expensive properties, for them, like a $20 million is like not a big deal. I mean, but those houses used to be like $15 million and they used to sit on the market for 2 years and no one touched them when I moved there. You just want to educate your clients and just know the inventory, know what you're talking about, be very knowledgeable. And I think in Miami generally, I mean, look, the agency, half of them are really not professional. It's actually the worst. I mean, I just texted an agent to do a show and by the time I get a hold of those agents, 2 days pass by. I'm like, why are you even getting the listing? So I think just being responsive to clients is very important, and answering the phones. I don't know if it's necessary for California buyer. I think it's just in general for a buyer. I think it's very important.
Yeah, it's a very competitive market, and when we hear the word buyer, we go, let's go the other way.
And people tell me, oh, in Miami, so many agents, and so is LA. LA is a lot of agents, but just because there are a lot of agents out there, so what? I mean, not everybody know what they're doing, and you just, and I see new agents in LA that just came out of nowhere and they just crushed it because they were, passionate, consistent, smart. They know what they're talking about. It just takes time, and like everything in life, right? Success doesn't come in one day. It takes time.
Time is the key. Now, going back to the social media conversation, do you do your own social media, or do you hire a team, or you have someone doing this for you?
Yeah, so I am very involved with my social media, but I can tell you that all the reels, the TikTok, all that stuff, I have someone that I'm paying, so she can I send her the content and she help me with the captions and with the whatever hashtags, because it is time consuming. Thankfully, I am in a position to pay someone to handle the social media and just take that pressure off, because it takes time. You upload the video, you want to make it cool, so you put the music and writing and all that. Stories, usually whenever I do showings, I always take a video quickly. I'm like, oh, I can upload for a story. She just launched my Vander group Instagram page, so she helped me doing that, and I feel like I'm present and I'm available, and it looks like I'm always active on social media, but sometimes I'm not always the one who's actually doing it. But I provide the content for sure, because she doesn't know real estate. So I want to make sure she knows what she's writing.
Excellent. So if you haven't seen Maggie's Instagram yet, I put it on the chat. So you go follow her, see what she's doing. Let me see if I can share a little bit I have real estate tips. I really want to see this. Let me see if I can share the screen really quick. How do I share screen? Do I have? Yes. Awesome. And then we're going to go here, share screen, and then this is Maggie's beautiful.
Yeah, and by the way, just keep in mind to the agent out there, I share a lot of personal things just because of the TV show. So obviously with the TV show, we have different endorsements opportunity. We get brands that pay us to do commercial. Oh my gosh, yeah, don't play it. I hate my voice. I hate the way I look, by the way. Like I'm like, let me just upload it and never look at it again. That's just me. It's weird. But anyways, so Yeah, so with my personal IG, I'm just pretty much everywhere, kids, lifestyle, some real estate, just because of the show and other opportunities that comes with it. But the real estate business page that I'm doing is just strictly real estate.
But I really liked how you did this, and I have to acknowledge that I liked when I've seen your videos. It's so engaging, it's so natural. I feel like you're talking to me. I don't feel like you're selling. So it is pretty amazing the way you just type the question, and it's just you personal. You're authentic. So that really come across when we see this. At least that's how it impacts me.
Yeah, like I don't try to fake things generally. Like, hey, if someone asks me, what do you think? What do I need to do? And I'll be very honest. I'm a very honest person. I'm trying to help those agents out there because of the TV show. I get so many emails about people who message me and ask me, hey, I just got my license. What do I do? And I'm like, okay, well, I can't sit with everybody for hours and hours and tell them what to do. So that's why I actually launched my real estate course. I'm like, you know what? It's not that bad. It's $395. You can invest. When I just started real estate, I paid $1,000 for coaching. So I feel like $395, it's doable. It just gives you a lot of content and kind of like idea what to do. Some work, homework, I guess, and some guidance and list of resources. But so I did that course for that reason, and that, the educational video, if I can, help and answer. And I try to engage as much as I can with social media with the audience, but obviously sometimes it's difficult. So if a video doesn't get a lot of comments, I can definitely comment and see what people write. But it depends on the post. Some posts just get more engagement, and it's just hard to keep track.
So do you find it valuable for agents to record videos and send to their clients? Yes.
Yes, because you're gonna give your business card. People will literally go to Google, and then they're probably gonna see your social media page, and they're gonna click on a video for sure. They're gonna see how you are, what you're talking about. If you seems like you know what you're talking about. So I think it's very important. I'm not saying every day to do a video, but maybe once a week, maybe twice a week.
Yeah, we've been hearing that pattern once a week, twice a week, just be consistent on the content. And what type of video should they be recording?
I think if they go to open houses, always do ask the agent if it's okay. You can do an open house, a video for an open house. You don't have to plan two things. You could do tips, for buyers and sellers. Talk about interest rate. You can talk about inspections. You can talk about appraisals. There are so many topics. Everybody wants to talk about real estate. What will be with the market? If you don't know what will be with the market, you can always Google and read some articles and then kind of like put bits and pieces together. You can be creative, or if you do the showings or open houses, it's just, hey, I'm here doing the open house. Wow, oh my gosh, I have 30 people or whatever, or look at this line. Some guy, I think some TikTok they're doing an open house here in Miami, and some TikToker did it, a video. It shows like 40 people are online to get into the house. So even stupid stuff like that. At least you show that you're active and you are in the game, and you are in real estate, you are in business.
Just coming always from contribution and always show that you are open for business, that you're active, even if this is not your full-time job yet, right? So always promoting.
Pretend like it is. I used to work in a clothing store, and I used to work at night in a club in LA. I used to be a VIP host. That was my part-time job, and I used to work at nights, Friday, Saturday. But then Sunday I was in open houses. Tuesday I was in brokers opens. Like I was always trying to act like I'm full-time, because it's hard to do real estate part-time. You really have to be committed. You can't just do half. Maybe in the beginning, I understand people don't have the money to support until they close big deals, and it takes time. But try to at least do the best you can to do it full-time.
Terrific. I have a question on the chat. It says, how do you manage being a mom and successful real estate agent? I'm sure there's a lot of women in the room can relate to that.
I know it's tough. And so my kids Aiden will be 3, Elle will be 2, and unfortunately I was supposed to have a third one, but that's a whole different story. Shit happened in life. But anyways, I am going to hopefully we'll have a third one. I'll nothing to do with it. But anyways, so my kids go to daycare. So usually their daycare is like 8:30 till 4 o'clock, which is great, because in that time I'm very good with balancing and think what's important. So I'm like, okay, like 9 to 10, this is what I'm doing. 10 till 11, everything is always calculated. Even if I need to clean the house quickly. Yeah, I have someone who cleans the house once every 2 weeks, but always like my house to be clean. Okay, that's an hour. So I always try to think what's important. Tomorrow I'm going to do whatever, 3 videos, 4 videos, boom, done. So I try to jam everything until they come back from daycare. And then from 4:30 till 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm pretty much with them. Obviously, if I have phone calls and I get emails, yes, I'm responsive. I'm not completely ignoring. I wish I could just shut the phone and not answering, but clients, they will call you at Sunday at 8 p.m. and I'm the agent to answer those phone calls. So I try to balance on the weekend, like I know we all work on the weekends, but I do try to do some things with my kids, Saturday or Sunday, go to the beach or to the pool and spend time with them. And when they go to bed, if I need to do some work, if I need to be on the MLS at 10 p.m., I usually always on the MLS actually at 10 p.m., just to see if someone updated listing at 7 p.m. I'm just very good with prioritize what's important, but the fact that I go to daycare definitely helps. And we do have part-time nanny. She comes 3 days a week. Sometimes in case I do need to do showings at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., which happens, not often, but it happens. So based on that, I will bring someone for like 4 or 5 hours just to help, because my husband also works full time. But before that, he was also working from home, so that was also helpful with the quarantine COVID thing. He was more at home, so that was helpful. But I tried that
balance. So it sounds like keeping balance of time blocking is very important, especially when you have your children, to make sure you have you don't negotiate. When I'm listening, also you don't negotiate your lead generation time. That's
exactly. So blocking time, definitely. That's by the way one of the topic on my course. I do block time because I know, okay, this is what's important today, what takes priority. I do the contracts, I do everything. Potentially, if it comes to being overwhelming, maybe I'll hire a transaction coordinator. I highly recommend, by the way, doing that if you guys can. If you're overwhelmed, just have a transaction coordinator, someone that will just at least take that headache away. But so far, I manage that too. But yeah, time blocking for sure.
Awesome. What advice would you give to a luxury agent that is thinking of creating videos for social media, but they might be a concern that I don't know how I'm going to look, my clients might not like that? Any tips or any recommendations?
I'm very critic the way I look and the way I sound. I actually hate my voice, but and I feel like a lot of people do. They just don't like the way they sound, but I think you just do it. And if you have to record it a few times, just do it. I see the comments. I actually never watched Selling Tampa, by the way. I'm the worst when it comes to reality show. I never watched it. Probably should, because it's Tampa and it's the same producers. But anyways, I think just record a couple of videos and don't overthink it. Don't overplan it and judge it. Just kind of be spontaneous, because we tend to be our worst critics, and some stuff that we see other people don't see. So I would say, like, just get out of your comfort zone. Just do a couple of videos, maybe talk in front of a mirror. Maybe that will help, like a mirror, just to see how you sound. But I think don't overanalyze it. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
Just do it. That's it. And I have another question. What advice would you give a new agent entering the industry?
Yeah, to buy my course. I'm kidding.
To get to get coaching.
As a new agent, as a new agent, again, like, it's not like we are swimming in cash, right? We're like, oh my gosh, when am I going to sell next? I would just try to do as many open houses as you can to try to get some buyers out of it, because it's free. Unfortunately, door knocking is one of those traditional old, and I say unfortunately because it's not ideal to go to someone's door, especially with COVID time. It's probably less than ideal. Someone asked, where can I buy the course? I have a link on my IG, on my bio. There is a link for my course. What was I going to say? Wait, what was I going to say? Oh, a new agent. Sorry, I blinked. So yeah, do the free stuff. A lot of networking. Give your business card. Act like you own it. Act like you already been doing it for a long time. But know what you're talking about. If you can find for sale by owners on Zillow, those are tough. I got those too. I called for sale by owners. Door knocking, I did a lot of door knocking in LA. I didn't get too much results with that, but I did couple of listings and a buyer out of it. Some agents, I know that that's all they do. It's the old school agents in LA, at least they just go and door knock and they get a lot of business from that. But it's hard. You have to keep the door at the same time. It's more traditional thing, but it's free and you don't have to spend money. And I would say, obviously, social media is free. So you can always market yourself on social media and post stuff to build credibility. If you have money to invest, mailers, I try to do mailers. I didn't get anything out of it. I know that Jason, my broker in LA, did a lot of mailer, but he spent a lot of money and he did get stuff out of it. So everybody have different things. It's also cost money. So in the beginning, I would just say try the free stuff. But you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to just go and door knock in someone's house. And I got people yelled at me. And yeah, it sucks, but then I'm like, okay. When I first started real estate, I joined this coaching and I paid. And the bottom line was of the coaching was you got to talk to many people every day. So yeah, find time to prospect. Now, a lot of us have these organic places that we know people, whether if it's your kid's school, maybe you go to the dog park with your dog and you start talking to people. Always somehow let people know that you do real estate.
Don't be.
I was always mentioning that I was in real estate. First, I was very aggressive. I was like, by the way, I'm in real estate. But you don't want to do that. You want to like, oh yeah, like, oh my gosh, this house just sold for a crazy amount. 2 years ago, it was sitting on the market. Yeah, I'm in real estate. People always want to know things about real estate. So there are also organic ways to meet people.
So pretty much what I hear, it's lead generate, always be a lead generation machine.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of starting conversation, sharing that you are an agent, no matter if you just started today, just got your license today, or you've been in the industry for 20 years. Also do a lot of the free lead generation, open house, door knocking, social media. That's our topic today. And then later on, going back to where we started, it's invest when you get your first commission check into.
Don't run and buy Gucci bag.
There you go.
Save money for taxes. Remember, we have to pay taxes. Then we have the business cards. We have the signs. We have this. We have that. Before we know it, we're making $0 on the commission after we finally sold something. My first deal was a condo in LA for $350,000, and I had to give referral fee. So after 9 months, I think I made nice. What did I make? I think $6,000 or $7,000. And I'm like, okay, now what? But once you sell the first property, then it's kind of, okay, I can do it. And let me tell you, every deal is challenging. I remember my first broker in LA, he told me my deal was very complicated. My client was yelling at me. It was and every clients are crazy, I realize, most of them. And he's like, well, congratulations, just so you know, every deal would be complicated. And I thought he was joking with me, and he was very right. Every deal is complicated. There is always something. So just know how to also be a problem solver and stay calm, because we are a therapist. We are therapists, basically.
We're consulting, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, we should charge by the hours, we should bill. $20 an hour. You sure you want to tell me your problems? You sure? You're going to think twice. You sure you want me to drive around and show you everything? Just so you can tell me, I want to rent.
That's funny.
Exactly right. I'll take $500 an hour. I'm lowering myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So that's another point. Don't lower your commission. 6%. It's what we need to.
Ideally, but did I lower my commission? I did.
Yeah.
But yes, I know you have the objective. I know the objective from all the real estate coaches. They're going to tell you, well, if I cannot negotiate my commission, how can I negotiate the price for you? I heard it all. There is a script. I have the scripts here. And it's true. But I did lower my commissions to get deals, for sure. I'm not telling everybody to do it, but I did it.
Yeah.
Being honest.
We've been there. Absolutely. We've been there. But yeah, are you teaching the real estate course yourself?
Yeah, so
yes.
So it's basically, it's a link that if you click on it, you're going to have some short videos of me talking and then the topic. So we talk about social media. We talk about, stuff that we just talked here, generic things, how to market yourself, how to brand yourself, So just tips and advice. It's not a long course. It's not going to be like a 5 hour, whatever, 50 hours course. It's very easy and light. Just to give some kind of like motivations and idea and you know, stuff that I was doing through my career. And you know, and it just takes time. It takes time, and you have to somehow float until you have it more consistent.
Awesome. I have another question here. What, in your opinion, will accelerate the growth of your business in real estate? What should be focusing on? Buyer's agent, being a listing agent?
I would tell you, and probably all the real estate coaches will tell you, listing agent. That's I mean, look, I work with a lot of buyers right now because I have the buyer's lead, right? So but those buyers, I purchased those leads, you know, when I first moved to Miami, and I knew nobody. So I had to start literally from zero. So those buyers eventually will be sellers. But ideally, yes, it's good to focus on trying to get listings, but is it easy? It's not easy. But listings, especially if you do a single family, you can put your sign on the property. It's free marketing. People see your name. It gives you credibility. You can door knock around your listing and say, hey, I have a listing on the street. I'm doing an open house. Wanted to invite you personally. So it just gives you more to play with. And obviously in this market, a listing really doesn't stay on the market for more than a day. So it's just easy. I mean, with buyers, I've been running around with buyers, and I'm like, you know, then they're financed, you know, I can write offer all the way until the moon, and we lose the offer because they're not attractive, they're not aggressive enough. So ideally, yeah, if you can get some listing and work with listings, that's perfect. How do you get listings? That's the tough part.
That is. Oh, I have a question, really good question here. So not everybody's gonna be on a show, maybe. If you had to start over, what will you do to create your own platform similar to what the show provides?
Well, if I had to start over, just in real estate, basically, without the show?
In social media.
Oh, in social media. I know to get followers, and it's hard to get followers. People buy followers. I wouldn't recommend that. It's just fake people, so it doesn't matter. I would just keep posting and engaging with other accounts. So liking, commenting. So people say, oh, wait, who is commenting on my post? Let me see. And then, you know, maybe they will follow you back. So really engage with other people. I try to engage, but obviously, you know, with 500 comments, it's difficult. But before that, I was always engaging with other people on Facebook back then. Always wish people happy birthdays, always. I haven't done it because I'm barely going on Facebook. But I say for you guys, just engage with other accounts because they will follow you back. Maybe they will tag you or tag people and all that stuff to just kind of like slowly build your followers. And then make sure to just post like fun content. Not only real estate, by the way, because it's also boring. So I would mix it up a little bit. I would do private stuff and real estate stuff. So people will know your personality and connect with you. You know, maybe a picture of you and the dog in the park. But then the next day you're in an open house and, you know, you talk about it.
So just keeping it balanced pretty much. Do 50-50. It's going to be social media, my personal life, and then a little 50 will be something like
yeah, I mean, people have their own business page for real estate. I just opened again business page for just real estate, just to have that. But yeah, it's definitely get less engagement than my personal one. So I think a good mix, a good healthy mix of everything is good. So people will just know you're in the business, but will also feel that connection with you.
Is there? I have another question, and I'm gonna. I think the question is pretty much going into what get the most engaged in your social media at the moment? Is it being a mom? Is it being in the show?
Yeah, a mom. Every time I post picture with the kids, I get just the most likes. Obviously I had a personal story. I lost my baby, so that got a huge engagement. Probably the most actually. And yeah, so I think picture of like the family gets a lot of engagement. And you know, I had my team, but I just did a nice photo with the girls that works with me. So I told my social media, just post, hey, you know, the Vander group, and it got pretty good engagement. People were just excited. I think they assume it's actually my own brokerage, which I don't care if they assume that, but it's not. I tell people, no, I'm under Keller Williams, but it's just like my group. I don't even have official team. It's just my group because I need girls to help me with work. But people assume it's my own. So I think people want to see like happy, successful things. So I think general engagements in social media, engagements, baby announcement, those gets always the most likes. Maybe a dog.
Dog pictures also help a lot.
Yeah, a wedding, you know, like those life events, people do tend to like them more than just, hey, look at me, I'm hot and I'm in the beach. Well, actually, those gets a lot of engagement too. But I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Now we are almost due on time. I'm just gonna ask one of the last questions, and why Keller Williams? You could have been with any other real estate agency, and you chose Keller Williams.
Yeah, so I'm good friends with Tony Giordano, which by the way, he does a lot of coaching about social media. So, and he's great. So I highly recommend check his stuff. He's with Keller in LA, Tony Giordano.
Yeah.
So Elliman, yeah, Douglas Elliman wanted me to move my license in LA to Elliman because they claim it's conflict of interest. And I couldn't do it because, you know, I'm licensed with Jason. So yeah, so I decided to just, I needed something quick. I needed something that makes sense for me financially. Keller allowed me to really brand myself. They allow me to do whatever I want. So it's not, I don't have to ask too many questions. Can I give that referral fee? And it's a headache. And I just do whatever I want. I cap. The commission then is pretty much 100% to me. They have great systems. So if I have new agents that will want to join in the future, they can do all the training and through Keller. So there is a lot of support system, and it just financially, it's a great decision. Like I don't have to worry, but oh my gosh, I have to pay 30% of my brokerage right now and all so on. And I can just brand myself within the Keller Williams umbrella. So it works out. And it's in Coral Gable. I live in Coral Gable. I love the office. I don't go to the office as much. You probably never saw, you saw me once. Actually, I need to go there because I got a check for my lease. So I have to give the check.
Awesome.
But I do a lot of things, just work remotely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maya. I'm going to open the panel to anybody that wants to ask a question. You can either type it or raise your hand so we can follow the criteria that we've been using before. Any questions? Well, we must have done a good job. We covered everything.
I think I covered everything. Yeah, I honestly, I've been doing so many of these, so it's kind of like I'm having another one tomorrow. So thank you so much, Lindsay.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Maya. I appreciate your time.
I just want to say to the moms out there, don't feel guilty, you know, like it's not perfect. People, you know, life, right? We have kids, we somehow have to juggle and balance and
I have a question.
Yeah.
For Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, thank you for being on here. First of all, I guess my question is, what's your main, or I guess maybe before going on the show and before social media, what was your main source of business, like your main pillar? And where did you live first? Like, where was your business first, Miami or LA? Just curious.
Yeah, so LA first, and I was doing real estate in LA 5 years. Almost real estate in LA for 4 years before the show was even a thing. And my main business there was a good mix of everything. So literally the old school, like open houses, networking. I network a lot. I gave everybody my business cards. I was always out and about meeting people. And then when I closed a deal or two, I advertise on Zillow. And I can tell you that for me, Zillow works the best. In Miami too. That's when I moved from LA to Miami, the show wasn't even a thing yet. I needed to start it from scratch. And I told Sebastian yesterday, like, I had some money to invest in online leads, and that's what I do. And yes, a lot of the leads are crappy, yes, but a lot of them are not crappy. So it's all about being consistent and following up. I can tell you, a lead from Zillow, I put him on my email blast, and like 3 years later, he contacted me out of the blue, and they bought 2 condos. He want to buy a third one. 3 years later. Now, I wasn't following up with him every week. I wasn't like stalking the guy. But and it's good to follow up. I would always follow up, maybe once a month, every 3 weeks. Hey, how is it going? But not too much. Like, don't bother the people. But at least have some sort of like email blast or something to stay in their mind. Because if you're not going to even have that, they're going to forget about you. So my email blast was another way, by the way, and I forgot to mention email blast. And if you're a new agent and you don't know what the hell to write on your email blast, try to look for like information, like interest rate going up, like scare them. It's going to go up, spend now, I don't know, just ideas. But you can do an email blast, even an email blast with a video of you talking about the market or recent sales, even if it's not your sales. So you can be creative as a new agent without having your listings, but pretend like you basically been doing it for a long time. So Nick, it's a mix of things.
Thank you. And then one more question. What's your suggestion on breaking into the luxury market?
That takes time too.
Real estate for a while.
Yeah, it takes time, like in Miami, I'm still frankly trying to break into more luxury market and sell more high-end stuff. And all I need is like one big sale to start like literally advertise the sale, like doing mailers and all that stuff. It just takes time. In LA, I used to see a lot of open houses, and most of those houses are 2 million and up. So that's a little bit easier. Obviously here it's the same thing. You can do that too. You can just do open houses for an agent who doesn't want to work on a Sunday. As long as it's a newer listings, because you also don't want to like see a listing that's been there for 5 months that nobody was seeing. Although now it's a different market, generally speaking, those houses don't tend to stay on the market as long. But I would say open houses for high end.
That's a good suggestion. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just because a lot of agents don't want to do that Sunday open houses or whatever, or Friday or whatever day. So I would suggest starting there.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, another thing, if you do the open houses, you could go maybe a day before, knock on a few doors around the house and say, hey guys, I'm going to do an open house, wanting to invite you personally. I don't think people will be that rude, but they may. But even if they are, okay, so what?
Yeah, and circle prospecting as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Any other questions that we might have at the moment?
It's so funny that you're saying that you almost stalking the person. I have this client, well, not this client, this people that I'm being stalking to her like 3 months. And I kind of stopped talking to her because I think she will accuse me on like something. But I don't want to, because she have this house for 4 months in the market.
Oh, it's a listing?
And I'm like, you're crazy.
It's a listing that doesn't move.
No, she don't want to list him because the mother is in real estate, and she want to prove the mother that she can. And actually, she want to rent it, but I want to be in front just because I know for sure she will list it with me. I just want
it's
to
a
be
shame. I mean,
face.
in this market, nothing should be off market. It should be out and about because that's how people compete for the price and get the best price.
Exactly.
But then her mother is a realtor. That sounds like a messy situation.
Exactly, and she's missing the opportunity. I mean, she have this house that I don't even know.
Why don't you suggest to co-list it with her mother?
No, honey, believe me, I already did that. But she wants to show the family that she can do it by herself. But
so where is she? On Zillow? Good luck. All she's gonna get on Zillow is maybe like those agents who wants to get the listing. Like me.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, actually, but lately on Zillow, I did. I tell you, I did call like 2 for sale by owners on Zillow, and they did manage to sell the house like off market on Zillow because probably buyers are seeing and they just contact them.
Yeah, that is funny, but yeah, I'm still there until she died. I will continue to call her.
You never know. You never know.
You're right. Thank you for
maybe tomorrow she will wake up with a different mood and decided to sell.
I know, probably she loves me instead of hate me because I think she hates me. She told me, you don't understand that I don't going to list my house with you. And I say, I'll try to help you.
All right, Sebastian. I think it's 3:50 now, so we're up on time.
It is 3:50. Yes, and I want to say thank you so much, Maya, for giving us your time, taking your time from lead generation, your family, anything you were doing, you choose to be here with your KW family. So we appreciate you so much for doing that. Thank you, Ryan, for putting this great event together. For those of you that have been with us the entire day, we are going to do this again on March 29.
Hold on. Don't beat me to it.
We're not closing yet? Okay, I'm sorry.
But I wanted to thank you first, Sebastian. you did a great job. This is the first time I've had you host one, so great job on it. I've had you teach before, but you actually did a great job hosting. You did amazing, great content. Love it. Appreciate you coming on. And if anybody wants to send you a referral, how do they reach out to you?
The best way is an email, like maya@mayavander.com. It's on my bio on IG. IG DMs, yes, I should check more, but it just gets overwhelming, so I barely go there. So yeah, the email is best, maya@mayavander.com.
There you go.